Good morning, everyone. Okay. Last class we discussed about literary text. Why do we use literary text in English language classroom? We discussed this. Then we will discuss about purpose of using literary text or literature in language classroom and strategies we were starting. And today we start from here. Strategy. This means in Nepali we say Rananiti. We have some kind of target to reach, to meet, and like in English language teaching, the target or the purpose of using literary text are some purpose as given here, like uh, uh, develop reading habit, reading culture, develop interpretive abilities in students, develop higher order reading and writing skills, familiarize students with with deviated DBIA, deviated and distorted language, deviated or distorted language pattern of literary language. So if these are the few objectives of using literature in language classroom, एउटा थप्ने एउटा develop what language skills and aspects. Okay, if objectives are these, then how do we achieve? How do we reach to this destination? यो गन्तव्यमा कसरी पुग्ने भन्ने सन्दर्भमा चाहिँ हामीलाई रणनीति चाहियो. So strategy we need. Now, what kind of strategies do we use, intervene? So रणनीति हुन्छ, रणनीति पछि कार्यनीति हुन्छ हैन. So strategy will be there, then activities will be there. So first strategies to achieve the proposed objectives, we can use like informative background lecture, we can give guided questions for the understanding of the text we use, literary surveys, biographical summaries of the writer poet, and then text analysis with occasional discussion. We can make occasional discussion, text analysis we can do. So traditionally teachers are using this kind of text centered activities, and now strategies can be like reading literary text for pleasure. यो एउटा strategy हुन सक्छ. Reading literary text for pleasure. साहित्यिक पाठहरू चाहिँ किन पढ्ने त प्लेजरको लागि पढ्ने हो. Literary text, reading literary text for किन पढ्ने त for information को रूपमा पढ्नु पर्यो. So reading should be different purposes. Sometimes we read for pleasure, sometimes we read for information. There will be different objectives. Reading for pleasure, reading for information, and involving learners in reading. This means they have to read themselves rather than informing, rather than telling, rather than explaining, translating the literary text. We have to involve learners in reading. They read and they understand themselves. So involving learners in reading. Reading मा पढाइमा विद्यार्थीहरूलाई संलग्न गर्ने. This is what रणनीति. Okay, involving learners in reading. पढाइमा विद्यार्थीलाई संलग्न गराउने. And this is what strategy. Then helping readers to interpret the literary text. साहित्यिक पाठहरूलाई रिडरहरूले आफैले इन्टरप्रेट गर्ने होइन एउटा व्याख्या गर्न सिकाउने अथवा सहयोग गर्ने सो दिस इज वाट स्ट्राटेजी इन्करेजिङ रिडर्स टु कम्प्रिहेन्ड द टेक्स्ट उनीहरूलाई नै प्रोत्साहन गर्ने उनीहरूलाई नै संलग्न गराउने उनीहरूलाई सहयोग गर्ने प्रोत्साहन गर्ने होइन सो encouraging readers to comprehend the text, encouraging readers to prepare previous various summaries of the text. Text ko कुनै एउटा text poem might be or short story might be essay might be so learners or readers they prepare various version of summaries धेरै summary निकालेर लगाउने त्यो भयो भने what happens there what we say thinking or looking at any content from different perspectives धेरै पर्सपेक्टिभबाट मल्टिपल पर्सपेक्टिभबाट हेर्न सक्ने हुन्छ so encouraging readers to prepare various summaries of the text developing readers multiple perspectives on the literary text generating discussion controversy critical thinking of the literary text reading literary text to analyze it so these are the strategy रणनीति यस्तो हुन्छ भने अब यो रणनीतिमा आधारित क्रियाकलाप हुन पर्यो so first we will have strategies then we design the activities to implement strategy in actual classroom practice हैन आनन्दको लागि पढ्ने लिटरेरी टेक्स्ट आनन्दको लागि पढ्ने लिटरेरी टेक्स्ट वाट सूचनाको ज्ञानको लागि पढ्ने लिटरेरी टेक्स्टमा बच्चालाई नै संलग्न गराउने हैन लिटरेरी टेक्स्ट इन्टरप्रेट गर्न बच्चालाई सहयोग गर्ने लिटरेरी टेक्स्ट बुझ्नको लागि बच्चालाई इन्करेज गर्ने लिटरेरी टेक्स्टको भराइटिज अफ समरीज सारांशहरू तयार गर्नको लागि बच्चालाई प्रोत्साहन गर्ने सो दिज आर द वाट स्ट्राटेजिज अब यसको लागि चाहिँ हामीलाई के चाहियो एक्टिभिटी चाहियो हाउ डु वी इङ्गेज आवर स्टुडेन्ट्स इन लिटरेरी टेक्स्ट सो दिज आर द स्ट्राटेजिज अब हामी इङ्गेजमेन्टको एक्टिभिटीहरू हेर्नुपर्छ होइन सो बेस्ड अन द अबोभ मेन्सन स्ट्राटेजिज the following activities can be developed to engage learners in literature class so like readers outline is one activity we use to engage students jigsaw reading type of activity we can use summarizing interpreting six thinking hats TESOL map TESOL map means what teaching English to the speakers of other languages. This is TESOL. And map means M means main idea, N means A means analysis, P means purpose, and another P means personal interpretation. So in literary text, interpretation is very focused part. Interpretation, multiple interpretation, individual interpretation, we encourage. Then reordering the events, character map, role play, worksheet. Giving title to the paragraph. So these are few to mention here. These are the activities we can use to help learners or we support to read literary text for pleasure, read literary text for information, involve learners in reading, help readers to interpret text, encourage readers to comprehend the text. So to implement these strategies, we can use these activities. Then there will be the engagement. Now, yeah, you have written in the chat box. Six thinking hats is everything. So I will show you about this. Wait. Six thinking hats you are asking, then what are the difficulties of teaching literature? You're asking what? Just a minute. Okay. Uh, just a minute. Mm, Six thinking hacks. It's trauma. So these are some activities I've mentioned here. Like so, readers outline. For example, this is one activity. Okay. Then, especially this activity we use in literature class uh, to scan and skim the information mentioned in the text. So teacher prepares this kind of uh, worksheet, like main topic is here, controlling idea is here, sub areas might be here, and supporting details and evidences here, then understanding of the essay. So this kind of outline, this kind of outline teacher prepares in advance. Then teacher provides this kind of outline to the reader, and they read the poem or they read the such a story, essay, or drama, and they would pick up the information necessary to fill fill up this you know let's say worksheet or table. So prepare a reader's outline, including the headings like main topic or theme, central idea, subtopics or areas, supporting details, evidences, understanding of the text, and then divide the students into groups and distribute the reader's outline. Students read the essay, read the short story, read the drama and poem also in group, and source information required to fill fill up the what to fill up the outline. After the reading and filling, after their reading and filling in the given outline, they present in the class. So this is one activity we use in literary text class to engage students. And मात्रै टिचरले यस्तो आउटलाइन बनाइदिन सक्छ होइन in advance, and provide divide the students into groups or into pairs and provide this kind of worksheet, and they read and they want collect information and they share or they present in the class. So this is what one activity. And textual map is what textual map is here. So teacher prepares this kind of worksheet also, and here students they write the main ideas. Mhm. They write here main ideas. When they read the story, when they read the poem, when they read drama, essay, they write what main point, main idea here, and they write here analysis part. Um, they write analysis part here of the text. They write here points. Then the main purpose, the main purpose of what okay, main purpose they write again here. Mukhya objectives or purpose, what they feel or realize about the text they write here, and personal interpretation. Finally, they write their personal view, personal opinion, final thought about the text, in this way. This is what map, textual map activity is. This is students, they read the text in a group, and they read the text and find out main idea, main purpose, then analysis, and then what personal interpretation. They do like this. It's a your textual map also one very useful activity to engage learners in reading what literary text, and to implement the concept of what this strategy. You strategy like use गर्ने activity you पनि हो. So we have this kind of reading literary text for pleasure, reading literary text for information, involving learners in reading, then informing, telling, explaining, translating, भन्दा पनि involving. They learn by doing. So helping readers to interpret the text, encouraging readers to comprehend the text. These are strategies, and these are what activities to engage in literary class. So few activities I have mentioned here, like just you saw this is what readers outline. This is what readers outline. The readers outline means just we prepare some kind of worksheet, some kind of table where there will be some main headings, and they what collect the information based on that what headings. So this is what readers outline. And textual map is another activity. Again, here is students, they read the text, they collect main idea, they collect purpose, they collect analysis part, they collect our personal interpretation. And jigsaw reading, this is frequently I have repeated in my class, in previous class also. So students will be divided into 4 to 5 groups. Like we can give the name ABCD, like which is technically known as home group. Then we split the essay or drama or poem or short story into 4 to 5 pieces. Split essay into text into 4 to 5 pieces. Group pieces, PIECES pieces. Each group will get one piece of essay or any kind of text, and they will read. They will read. After the reading, a teacher reforms the group, and then they share. In this way, we do this what jigsaw reading activity, very useful in a literature class. And six thinking hats. This is another useful activity. Little bit difficult also to implement this activity effectively in the classroom. So it demands higher order thinking skills, higher order writing and reading skills. It demands, like when we use these six thinking hats activity in English class, so learners they learn to explore different perspectives. एउटै कुरालाई फरक फरक दृष्टिकोणबाट फरक फरक पोइन्ट अफ भ्यूबाट हेर्ने स्किल डेभलप हुन्छ एउटा। अर्को भनेको मेकिङ इन्फरेन्स, यो इन्फरेन्स गर्ने स्किल डेभलप हुन्छ रिडिङको। देन प्रिडिक्टिङ, अनुमान गर्ने हैन, प्रोजेक्सन गर्ने, प्रक्षेपण गर्ने, दिस काइन्ड अफ skill they develop. And for the basic classroom process, like we divide students into 6 groups, give them names using color, like white hat, black hat, like this, different colors of hat. One group is white hat, another group is red hat, next black hat, yellow hat, green hat, blue hat. So these 6 different colors we provide. Then hat also, white hat one group, red hat another group, अर्कोलाई black hat भन्न सक्यो, yellow hat भन्न सक्यो, green hat भन्न सक्यो, blue hat भन्न सक्यो. Then accordingly we can prepare hat, and we can use color also. Then they wear that hat. अब चाहिँ यो ग्रुपले के काम गर्छ भन्दा, we have reading text like short story, essay, drama, poem. From that reading text, and each group will have different focus area. White hatले हेर्ने भनेको white hat six information available, data and facts, information के दिएको छ त्यो कुरालाई मात्रै हेर्छ व्हाइट ह्याटले हैन. रेड ह्याटले के हेर्छ इमोशन्स फिलिङ्स एन्ड द फोकस इज अन इन्ट्युसन प्रेजेन्ट भ्युज विदाउट एक्सप्लेनेसन एन्ड जस्टिफिकेसन. सो रेड ह्याटले चाहिँ अलिकति इमोसन फिलिङ्सहरूलाई इन्ट्युसनहरूलाई चाहिँ जोड दिन्छ त्यो टेक्स्टको. त्यस्तै ब्ल्याक ह्याटले पढ्दाखेरि चाहिँ जजमेन्टल एन्ड फोकस इज अन क्रिटिकल वाइ समथिङ इज रङ logical negative view. So why something is wrong, why this is this is difficult, this is hard, and students they feel difficult, they do not enjoy this kind of negative judgment they seek from the text. त्यो टेक्स्टबाट चाहिँ उसले चाहिँ नेगेटिभ कुराहरू चाहिँ खोतल्छ क्या यो ग्रुपले चाहिँ. येलो ग्रुपले चाहिँ के गर्छ भने यसले फेरि अप्टिमिजम and focus on logical point of view. यसले फेरि तार्किक कुराहरू गर्छ हैन, पोजिटिभ पार्टको कुरा गर्छ, लुक्स फर बेनिफिट्स फाइदाको कुरा गर्छ, व्हाट्स गुड के छ त राम्रो पार्ट भन्ने त्यो कुरा चाहिँ औल्याउँछ येलो ह्याटको ग्रुपले. ग्रीन ह्याटको ग्रुपले के गर्छ भने दे रिड द टेक्स्ट पार्ट पढ्छन् एन्ड व्हाट दे थिंक क्रिएटिभ थिंकिङ पोसिबिलिटिज हाइपोथेसिस न्यू आइडियाज के हुन सक्छ भने ग्रीन ह्याटले चाहिँ अरु सम्भावनाहरू हैन कल्पनाहरू पोसिबिलिटिज and then what imagination hypothesis new ideas they prepare from the text. Blue hat finally represents the thinking and represents thinking about thinking. So finally this blue hat prepares summary of the text. And say blue hat represents what prepares summary of the text. So we assign different roles and different tags, different roles, different hats, different roles, different tags. फरक hat हुन्छ, फरक काम हुन्छ र फरक के गर्छ भने मटेरियल तयार पार्छ. व्हाइट ह्याटले डेटाहरू इन्फर्मेसन फ्याक्टहरू एभिडेन्सहरू पत्र खोज्छ टेक्स्टको हैन. एन्ड रेड ह्याटले चाहिँ इमोसन फिलिङ्स इन्ट्युसनहरूलाई मात्र खोज्छ. ब्ल्याक ह्याटले चाहिँ नेगेटिभ जजमेन्ट गर्न खोज्छ, क्रिटिकल पोइन्ट अफ भ्यूबाट हेर्छ. येलो ह्याटले पोजिटिभ पार्टबाट हेर्छ, पोजिटिभ देन वाट इज गुड राम्रो पार्ट के हो यसको हैन, लुक्स फर बेनिफिट्स कसलाई फाइदा हुन्छ के फाइदा हुन्छ. सो दिस काइन्ड अफ part will be what collected from the yellow hat. Green hat, this is what hypotheses, possibilities, creative thinking, and new ideas. Finally, blue hat prepares summary of the text. So in this way, students will be divided into six groups, and teacher gives the name of each group, like using color and hat. White hat one group, red hat another group, black hat another group, yellow hat another group, green hat another group, blue hat another group. Then after teacher assigns tasks के गर्ने भन्ने कुरो प्रत्येक ग्रुपलाई टास्क छोटे छोटे काम दिएको हुन्छ. Then accordingly they read the text part पढ्छन्. That might be poem हुन सक्छ, ड्रामा हुन सक्छ, short story essay हुन सक्छ. They read the text and they pick up the information, they collect the information according to their role के हो त्यो रोल अनुसारको इन्फर्मेसन पिकअप गर्छन्. Then finally they share. So when we engage our students in such activity, then they develop the skill of what exploring different perspectives, and then exploring then developing the skill of making inference, developing the skill of predicting. So in this way six thinking hat is this. यसरी प्रयोग गर्न सकिन्छ क्लासमा हैन. Then jigsaw reading also can use हैन. Then textual map is this what preparing this kind of worksheet, like main idea, then purpose analysis part, personal interpretation part, they read the text and they collect information based on these headings. So this is what textual map. And another one is a reader's outline. Just we prepare outline including some headings, and the students they read the text and collect information based on the headings. You answer gotcha. Then reordering the events can be another useful activity in a literature class to engage our students in literary text. Okay, so here just teacher can prepare this kind of worksheet, like uh, you know including these WH question, like who are the characters, or who are doing what, when is the time taken place, and who are the characters, and where is the place scene, where is the scene, where is the event taking place, what is the theme, content, matter, then why they are learning. So so this is what, when is what time factor, when we, and who means what characters, CHRACTRS characters, then where means the place, this is the scene, uh, you know place, it indicates to the place, and SE and scene, uh, where actually the event takes place. Then what is what theme, main message, content, topic, what is the main topic, then why means what objectives, OBJECT objective, this means objective, why do we use that text, or why do we use that activity. So that should be what objective, clear. This kind of worksheet teacher can prepare in advance, and do print out and use in the classroom. So to collect the sequence of events. So when we teach story, when we teach drama, र स्टोरीको एउटा एलिमेन्ट भनेकै के हो भने, सो दे हेभ plot, they have character, they have theme, they have issue, objectives. So to explore the different elements of essay, different elements of short story and drama, we can use this kind of reordering the events. So I think this is in secondary level, secondary level TSC sample question. There is one question that is, what similarities and differences do you see between short story and drama? Two questions, literature part. What are the similarities and what are the similarities and differences between short story and drama? Here's a farak. Similarity ki ho, differences ki ho. Just we can take this activity like short story and drama. These are two different forms of literature. They are the forms text of reading text based on reading text selected from the literature, and then these two different genres have elements like characters will be there, and there will be theme, content will be there, and there will be plot will be there, scene will be there. These are the what common part drama and short story they have. दुईटैमा टाइम फ्याक्टरको कुराहरु हुन्छ, क्यारेक्टर्सको कुराहरु हुन्छ, हैन, न्यारेटिङको कुराहरु हुन्छ, देन सीनको कुरा हुन्छ, सीन सेटिङको कुराहरु हुन्छ, दुईटैमा हुन्छ, एन्ड देन प्लट इभेन्ट्सहरु हुन्छ, हैन, प्लटको कुरा हुन्छ, देन थीम विल बी देयर एन्ड objective will be there. So these are the common things in drama and what short story you have to understand. And differences here भने त अब short story is about to narrate the event, and drama is the activity to perform, to act on the stage based on the scripted text. स्क्रिप्टमा आधारित भएर स्टेजमा पर्फर्मेन्स गर्ने चाहिँ ड्रामा हो. सर्ट स्टोरी भनेको दिस इज वाट फर न्यारेसन, न्यारेसनको लागि हो, हैन. So there are some such differences. Similarities also they have, differences also they have. So this is one sample question asked in TSC, sample question answer. Okay. Plot, theme, scene setting. Yes, Kumar has written. So both have character, plot, scene, and then theme. These are the common things. Okay. So and next one is there are other different activities we can use to engage the readers, but let's talk gender wise. Gender wise कुरा गर्यो भने अझै सजिलो हुन्छ. Like poem बाट सुरु गरौँ हैन. Readers outline, just we can give readers outline, we discuss it. Then jigsaw reading also and summarizing also, making different summaries, interpreting, six thinking hats. Then textual map, then reordering the events, character map. Just students, they read the short story drama, and they just list out the characters, and they write the characteristics of the characters. Role play also we can see the drama, use of worksheet. Simply we can prepare worksheet, and then students work on that and giving a title to the paragraph. So there will be different paragraphs of poem, short story, essay, drama, and they read that text, and they try to give the title of each paragraph. So this kind of activities we can use to engage the readers in literary text. So now genre wise, हामी जाँदाखेरि poem, short story, drama, essay, सरस्वती यसरी हेर्नु पर्ला. Now here just poem is what so poetry is a composition of words. Brief तीन चारवटा सेन्टेन्सहरु इन्ट्रोडक्सनमा लेख्नु भयो भने ठिकै हुन्छ. So poem is a composition of words set to music. When we read the poem, sing the poem, then what happens? There will be a kind of music, rhythmic pattern, rhyming words will be there. Then rhythmic pattern will be there. So all poems share specific characters. For example, poem is written in lines and stanzas instead of sentences and paragraphs. There will be stanza, lines will be there, and then no such sentences which have like subject, verb, object like this, and paragraphs we don't see. Poem uses punctuation devices as rhetorical devices to create artistic effects. So punctuation devices like full stop, capital letter, small letter, question mark, these will be rhetorical devices in poem to create artistic effect. For example, हाम्रो पोएमको सुरुको सेन्टेन्समा अथवा भनौँ न सुरुको लाइनको सुरुको वर्डमा चाहिँ स्मल लेटरबाट सुरु हुने, बीचबीचमा क्यापिटल लेटरहरू युज गरिदिने, यस्तो देखिन्छ पोएममा चाहिँ. So this capitalization, punctuation, question mark, these are punctuation devices, and these punctuation devices are deviated. त्यस्तो तरिकाले युज गरिदिन्छ कि तपाईको सेन्टेन्स अथवा भनौँ न सुरुको लाइनको फर्स्ट लेटर चाहिँ क्यापिटल हुनुपर्ने, तर स्मल भइदिन्छ, बीचमा क्यापिटलहरु लेखिदिन्छ के. So why poets have used this kind of unusual way of using punctuation devices to create what artistic effect, poetic effect. यो poetic effect create गर्नको लागि चाहिँ to create what artistic or poetic, poetic, and what artistic effect they use what punctuation devices like this. We see what poem written in lines and stanza, then sentence and paragraphs. Some poems follow strict rules such as number and length of the lines and stanza. So certain lines, certain stanza will be there, and many poems are much free, much more free flowing. So poem, as we define, poem is what a spontaneous overflow of feelings, emotion. Wordsworth definition. So poem, in many poems we see what this kind of free flowing of ideas, and most of the poems most of the poems are plentiful in figurative use of language, like simile, metaphor, hyperbole, onomatopoeia, alliteration, rhythm, rhyme, and much more we see in the poem. So these are what figurative use of language. And then these are a lot of this kind of use of language we see in the poem to again create what new taste, new flavor, artistic effect, poetic effect in the poem. Poem can claim an emphasis on imagination, emotions, and heartfelt ideas. So this kind of feelings, intuitions, emotions we see in the poem. Poem is usually shorter than what other genres, like short story, essay, drama. This is short with some stanza or lines. But some poems are classified as epic poem also, like which is long narrative poem, which is long narrative poem recorded heroic deeds and serious subject matter. For example, John Milton's Paradise Lost. So this kind of features or characteristics we see in the poem. अब पोइम को बारेमा यदि क्यारेक्टरिस्टिक्स or मेन फिचर्स यो पार्टबाट सोध्न सक्यो भने के कन्टेन्ट नलेज यस्तै यस्तै हो. What are the special features of poem, just you remember what are the special features of poem that make a different that make different that make poem po poem different than other uh, other forms of literature. Question is the part what what are the special features, characteristics, qualities, special features, characteristics, characteristics, then qualities, qualities of poem that make poem different from other forms of literature. Here that is special features, qualities, characteristics, which other literary genres don't have. Like so poem is written in lines and stanza instead of sentence and paragraphs. This is one indicator, one characteristic in terms of which we say poem is different than other forms of literature. Uses punctuation devices like punctuation devices as rhetorical devices to create what poetic effect, artistic effect. So in the middle we can see capital letter, at the beginning we see small letter. So this is what unusual pattern, unusual use of punctuation devices, but it is possible in poem to create what poetic effect. So your type of question पनि सोध्न सक्छ. So you prepare about it, then अझै यहाँ अझै एउटा थपेर जस्तै what are the main PURPOSA purposes of including poem in lower secondary English curriculum. Curriculum. What are the main purposes of including poem in lower secondary, English curriculum? Write write the special features or characteristics, qualities of poem that make a poem different than what other forms of literature. This is what content knowledge area is. So you prepare about it. And what do you think? What are the what are the different purpose of using poem in lower secondary level? Can you write purpose? उद्देश्य के हो पोएम युज गर्नुभयो? Can you write in the chat box? Okay, education value. Okay, go on, go on, go on. Why do we use hmm, to evoke sentiment? Mhm. Others for the purpose of educational value to familiarize students with deviated language pattern. Good. Developing reading habits to provide context for pleasure, stimulus, value, creating for fun. Okay. Mhm. Making okay. Reading habit forming creativity to learn language mm, to better readers. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Skills development to teach language by phone. Thank you. Yes, these are some of the objectives we have to mention. Yes, thank you. May I ask you to stop your writing? May I ask, please stop writing now. Okay. Here, just you mentioned those things. First you have to understand. You have to understand. Poem is one part of one useful text of reading. So we have to focus to reading. पोइम सर्ट स्टोरी ड्रामा एसे यिनीहरूको बारेमा लेख्नु पर्यो भने यो रिडिङको टेक्स्ट हो भनेर बुझ्नु पर्यो पहिला देन यु हेभ टु राइट सम अब्जेक्टिभ्स फ्रम द रिडिङ सेक्सन रिडिङबाट अब्जेक्टिभ बनाउन सकिन्छ होइन जस्तै वाइ डु वी युज पोइम डेभलप टु डेभलप वाट टु डेभलप अर डेभलप होइन डेभलप वाट रिडिङ स्किल्स reading skills, reading habit, reading habit, reading culture, reading culture. So one objectives can be from here. So to develop, reading habit, reading cultures, then we use develop what um, reading habit, and you know we use poem for reading for pleasure ananda because it creates fun um, okay read for pleasure bhanयौं न read for pleasure then read for information and then motivate students in learning reading skills okay यहाँ reading skills भनेपछि यहाँ चाहिँ यसलाई फाल्दिउँ हैन so develop reading habit to develop reading habits to read for pleasure to read for information to motivate students in learning reading skills and to what others to familiarize students with the language of poem to familiarize students with the language of the poem and others to develop reading habit to read for pleasure to read for information to motivate students in learning reading skills to familiarize students with the language of the poem yes creative thinking develop vocabulary develop critical thinking and then to teach language through poetry to teach language skills aspects enable students to summarize okay to develop INTE interpretive abilities to develop interpretive abilities so that these might be some purpose of using poem in lower secondary level class. I know. Oh, then to give information about poetic license, to know connotative meaning. So these are the basic ones. So you can explain some more. And what are the what are the main purposes of a poem? So just you mentioned here some brief brief introduction. I know BRI, yeah, brief introduction. Um, Brief introduction. There is poem go. Then you touch to the objectives, purposes of using you yes using poem here. Then you write the bullet poem, and you talk what next point is what are the characteristics. CHARACTERISTICS, possible characteristics manus PUSSI BLE, possible characteristics of poem. Like this you talk. Possible characteristics of poem manus or heading bananus, purpose of what using poem manus or heading bananus, then give brief introduction about the poem, and this is the frame of what writing answer. Then these are what characteristics, and we conclude that in terms of these we can say that a poem is what different than other forms of literature. Poem is useful in English class to develop what different language skills and aspects. At the same time motivation, and then what they're fun, then engaging in about to create engaging environment, we can use poem भन्नु पर्यो हैन. And then so यसपछि चाहिँ हामी how do you teach भन्ने हामीले त युनिट 2 मै हेर्यौं है. How do you teach poem भन्ने कुरा हैन. How do you teach essay, short story, drama 2 मा हेर्यौं हैन. Are you familiar with the teaching of these different literary genres? सकिन्छ हैन. Just I want to get your response. Can you do? Yes. Yes, let's say in short. Yes, yes, yes. Some of you said we are new. Some of you said once more, once more. So for this, एउटा म तपाईलाई त्यही जुलियन लजारको किताब देखाइदिन्छु. Lajar says very presents very simple ideas. This is Lajar's book, and poem, हैन. Poem भनेको कतिपय छ putting a poem back together again. What is distinctive about poetry? Why use poetry with the language learners? भनेको page 94. In page 94 we find this. Okay, novel and short stories here. Short stories here, and yes, this is about poetry. I know. Okay, poetry. Possible problems with the language. So possible problems with the background of text. So what are the difficulties? Difficulties we can write from here also. Understanding different part up to this point. Historical background setting, difficult vocabularies. Um, mhm, mhm. Seats, please. 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 Yes. Yeah, एउटा फिगर छ. Now you see this figure. यो diagram हेर्नु त. This is about poem. Uh, just you can read here. माथि हेर्नुहोस् त. माथि and 6.2 is the diagram summarizing the possible stages of a lesson using London. Think of a poem you would like to use with your students and use the diagram to help you plan a lesson based around that poem. So this is what activities to teach poem, you know. So this is pre-reading activities, while reading activities, and post-reading activities we can use while teaching poem to the students. In the pre-reading activities, we use like discussion of pictures, photos. We can do this. Then poster presentation on the subject of poem, reading, listening, and text on historical background. We discussed about the historical background of that poem, about the poet, personal reactions to the theme or subject of the poem, and discussion relating discussion, reading about author, discussing about author, and or reading about the author. These are the some pre-reading activities or activities we use while teaching poem. पोइममा लान सकिन्छ के हुन्छ होइन. Then, while reading activities, choosing best definitions for the words, noting down, clusters of image, figurative meanings. We already said, poem contains a penalty full of, figurative use of language. Then students may feel difficult to understand the simple meaning of those figurative, language. Like simile, metaphor. So onomatopoeia, so alliteration, the different figure of speech will be used in the poem. Then helping students to understand to get the meaning of those figurative use of language will be the while reading stage. Then close close analysis of particular words and phrases. So analysis part also we did in visual map also. M means main idea, A means analysis part, P means what purpose, another P means personal reaction. So close analysis of particular words and phrases, discussion of oral rhythmic features. So rhyming words will be there, and then just we pick up the what rhyming words and we what practice those words. And discussion of different critical comments we can also do. Then one part is missing here. Two parts again comprehension activities पनि हामी गर्ने यो while reading मै हो. Comprehension, reading based on the poem. Students they read the poem and they do what some question answer based, some matching, completing, filling, and then what reordering activities they do. So here just you can mention while reading pre-reading भन्ने बित्तिकै त picture discussion भयो, photo discussion, picture discussion. Then discuss about the theme topic of the poem, and giving what background information, historical, cultural background of the text poem, and then in discussing about the author, who is the poet, discussing about the poet. And these are the pre-reading मा जान्छ भने, and while reading मा चाहिँ choosing the best definition for the words, talking about the figurative use of language, talking about the rhyming patterns, rhyming words given in the poem. Then having close analysis of the some particular words and phrases which are typical or which are new for the students. Then discussion about the critical comments, interpretation. Then what comprehension exercises चाहिँ यहाँ थप्नु पर्ला जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई चाहिँ. Comprehension exercises means like they read the poem and do some reading based activities like rearranging, then question answer, they do here while reading. And post reading, giving personal reactions to the poem. What is the poem? Poem is about this, like this, personal interpretation, personal, view, point of view they share. Writing, reading critical reviews, comments about the poem, reading other works by the same poet. सेम पोइट लेखेको चाहिँ अरू अरू पोएमहरू अथवा अरू डिफ्रेन्ट लिटरेरी वर्क्स we can read. And discussion, debate on theme, subject of the poem. There might be some issues or the main themes, main subject of the poem. Then students can have what free discussion on that theme at the post reading activities. Then if necessary, role play also you can do about the theme of the poem. So this from this figure, just you can have a screenshot also, and you can build up your confidence in dealing with what poem. So this kind of pre, while, post, 3 stages we use to teach poem. Yes, this kind of Lokendra has written this kind of how we can observe this type of table of other literary genres like story and drama. Yes, we have this figure, or this figure we can extend, we can link with other aspects with other genres also. यहाँ यही किताबमा चाहिँ अहिले म देखाउँछु तपाईहरुलाई त्यो पार्ट पनि. This is about what poem को बारेमा. How do you teach poem भन्यो भने, so you remember this figure, just you saw the screen. Okay, now अर्को क्वेशन के सोधिन सक्छ भने जस्तै यही पोएमबाट हैन purpose we understand, basic information we understand, basic ways of dealing with poetry in English class, right? In English class. So here we talk about what? We talk about 3 stages of teaching reading, because again I repeat the concept that poem, short story, drama, essay, they are the what? They are the reading text. They are the reading text, and these reading text we use to develop different reading skills in students. यो चाहिँ बिर्सन भएन. बिर्सनै नहुने कुरा के भने poem, short story, drama, essay, यिनीहरु भनेको reading को text हो क्या. Then if they are the possible reading text we use in the reading class, why do we use to develop different reading skills? Reading skills सँग जोड्नु पर्यो के यसलाई, हैन? अब यहाँ 3 अब generally we have pre-reading, while reading, post-reading stages we use to teach reading skill. Then in teaching different reading literature, literary text also we can use pre-reading, while post stage model we can use, हैन? So stage model we can use. There are 3 stages of teacher reading, and they are what pre-reading we can use, while reading we can use, then post-reading we can use. Okay, so these 3 stages, 3 steps we use. एउटा चाहिँ यो हेर्नु होला हैन. So question के हो, what how do you teach, or what are the stages, what are the activities भन्यो भने प्री, वाइल, पोस्टमा जाँदा पनि हुन्छ. र अर्को क्वेशन के सोध्न सक्छ भने what basic steps do you adopt or follow while teaching poem. यसरी भन्दियो भने के हुन्छ तपाईहरुको आन्सर? Can you write in the chat box? What basic steps do you follow? यो सोधेको छ एकचोटी. What are the classroom procedure? हैन? Write the what? Write the classroom procedure. PROCEDURE. Write the classroom procedure. कसरी use गर्ने poem लाई? Can you write in the chat box? Okay, I check. PPP model, pre-while post. Okay, U is pre-while post. Presentation practice products. Mitra has written. ABC model. Formula has written. TTT model. Somebody has written since setting, motivating, intensive, extensive. Okay, ESA. Sundays ESA, pre-while post, same way PPP. Okay. यही हो त ल कहिले अलिकति क्वेशनहरु त्यस्तै हुन सक्छ कन्फ्युज पार्न सक्छ हैन यसमा चाहिँ के गरौँ भने so you have written direct model भन्नुभएको छ scene setting भन्नुभएको छ same way as PPP भन्नुभएको छ हैन so here just I want to suggest what are the different classroom process steps, basic steps भन्यो भने so we can write like this. यसरी पनि लेख्न सकिन्छ like we are here, you see what basic steps do you follow or adopt while teaching poem to the lower secondary? यो त ट्याग नै हो हाम्रो ट्याग नै हो lower secondary जुनाइदिने नै हो lower secondary level students and the classroom procedure भन्यो भने the classroom procedure for teaching a poem can be of the following types हैन can be of the following types following types or kinds like first what we do first introduce the poem with informative lectures. Informative lectures generally we use introduce the poem with informative lectures. First we do this, then briefly discuss about the subject matter of the poem, discuss about the subject matter of the poem, then discuss about unfamiliar words, then discuss about unfamiliar words of the poem, supply background information if any needed for understanding of the subject matter of the poem, and then read the poem loudly, read the poem loudly. So our basic level especially read the poem aloud. So basically grade 6, 7, 8 students they feel difficult to read the text, not only general reading text, but also general reading text they feel difficult to read. Literary text, of course, they feel difficult to read text because there will be some unfamiliar words, structures like that, and just to familiarize them with the new words and new sentences structured. So loud reading is what necessary. So read the poem aloud. With what? Read the poem loudly. Read the poem loudly. Loudly with normal speed and natural voice. This we can add. Read the poem loudly with normal speed and natural voice, and get a few students to read the poem loud. Each reading a part of it. They also practice to read. Then observe the rhythm of the verse. observe the rhythm of the verse and try to search the RHY, rhyming RHY rhyming patterns. यो पनि खोज्न पर्यो पोइममा चाहिँ हैन. Observe the rhythm of the verse, try to search the rhyming patterns or rhyming words, हैन, rhyming words, conduct comprehension exercises. अब बुझ्न त पर्यो फेरि. So conduct comprehension exercises, both extensive and intensive activities. Encourage students to read the poem at home and memorize it. Okay, so this kind of basic steps we can follow while teaching poem. यसरी पनि जान सकिन्छ. यो बेसिक स्टेप्स सोध्यो भने यतापट्टिबाट जानु होला हैन. यो आउँदै आएन भने तपाईको प्री वाइल पोस्टमा जानु होला. So option we have. So there is not fixed, final, absolute, final answer भन्ने हुँदैन. So how do you present poem, or how do you teach poem to the lower secondary level students? Right, the basic steps. भन्दै भने first I do this, second I do this, third I do this. भन्दै जान सकिन्छ हैन. So introduce the poem with the introduce, or the teacher introduces the teacher, like यहाँ चाहिँ the teacher introduces the poem with informative lectures or with a picture description. हाम्रो pre reading मा थियो नि picture description, photograph discussion भन्ने थियो नि. So we can bring here. The teacher introduces the poem with informative lectures or picture discussion. Picture discussion related to the poem. Your very poems are related to the poem. Then he or she briefly discusses about the subject matter of the poem. Then students discuss about the students get chance chance to discuss about unfamiliar words of the poem, and supply background information if necessary. Background information if necessary, necessary necessary for understanding of the subject matter poem will be supplied. Will be SUPPLID supplied. So when you write the process, so in academic writing, generally we use like this, passive sentences. Very passive sentences. So background information, if necessary, for the understanding for understanding of the subject matter of the poem will be supplied. And read the poem loudly with normal he or she, the teacher again. The teacher reads the poem loudly with normal and natural normal speed. Normal speed and with natural voice. Then get students get one. Then students get chance to read the poem loudly. To read the poem loudly, each reading a part of it. Students, try to observe the rhythm of the verse, and they try to search the rhyming patterns of the words, and they students engage in comprehension exercises. Students engage in comprehension exercise, both extensive and intensive activities will be practiced. Will be practice. So encourage students to they will be encouraged to read the poem at home and memorize it. So In this way, we can write the classroom procedure. कसरी conduct गर्नुहुन्छ भनेर सोध्यो भने AX prepare lesson plan, we can use pre-well. Yes, you can use pre-well also. This is also lesson plan. Your lesson plan is the lesson plan means classroom procedure. This is the same. Lesson plan भनेको छुट्टै भनेर बुझ्नु भएन. This is what lesson plan we teach, we use. But just will be here what? In lesson plan, of course, there will be the subject will be there, class will be there, then there will be teaching item, and then these are the basic things. Class, subject, teaching item, you know, and time also you can write. So these are the basic. Then you can write specific objectives at the end of this lesson. Students will be able to at least 2 objectives, right? Then teaching materials, then teaching and learning activity. This is what teaching and learning activity. You are saying lesson plan ko teaching and learning activity ma aउँछ यो चाहिँ हैन, teaching and learning activities. Okay, so in this way, so हेरौँ हैन, now read poem मा हामीले के हेरौँ भने, so very brief introduction, then purpose, objectives of using poem, then some characteristics of poem, then why the poem is in the what in lower secondary English curriculum. This we can write, and then basic ways of dealing with poetry in English class. You can write pre-while post, and if basic steps भनेर सोधेको छ भने classroom procedure भन्यो भने यसरी पनि लान सकिन्छ. So this way. Now अब हामी essay तिर जाउँ, essay story तिर जाउँ हैन. Essay is what one reading text भनेर बुझ्न पर्यो फेरि पहिला हैन. यसलाई हामीले यहाँ माथि राख्नु पर्यो है, पोएम भन्दा माथि. Yes, yeah. Okay. Yes. Literary genres. यो literary genres को चाहिँ हामी पोएम त पढिसक्यौं. थोरै यो introduction part मा चाहिँ के गर्दिनु भने, so literary genres use words to create imaginary person. Words and they use words and sentences. Literary genres use words and sentences to create imaginary persons, events, and express ideas and feelings. So literary genres use words to create words. Sentence poem sentence. So literary genres use words to create imaginary persons, events, and express feelings and then experience. In terms of the way of using words, in terms of the way of using words, and there are mainly 4 forms of literature: poem, short story, drama, or essay. When words are used to create imaginary persons and events, this is what त्यसो हो भने story र drama एकातिर जान्छ. So त्यही भएर यहाँ क्वेशन सोधे हो, what are the similarities and differences between short story and drama भनेर सोध्नुको कारण यो. So both short story and drama use words to create imaginary persons and events. And then poem and essay, they use words to express feelings, experience, and ideas. अब यहाँबाट सोध्न सक्छ फेरि अर्को क्वेशन, why do you think poem and what similarities and differences do you see between poem and essay? What similarities and differences do you use short story and drama? Short story and drama, they use words. शब्द नै प्रयोग गर्ने हो. Why? To create imaginary persons and events. त्यहाँ चाहिँ imaginary person event को कुरा हुन्छ. Poem र essay मा चाहिँ use the same words to express what feelings, experience, emotions, ideas. यिनीहरु चाहिँ short story मा पनि idea express गर्ने हो, experience express गर्ने, experience, feelings, emotions नदिने, point of view नदिने. यसैमा poem भन्ने बित्तिकै what a kind of personal, private feelings, private opinion, or ideas will be in the poem, experience. So they have such kind of similarities. नाउ यति भनिसकेपछि पोएम वी डिस्कस्ड, हामीले यो पोएमको बारेमा हेरिसक्यौँ. देन वी डिस्कस नाउ एसेको बारेमा हेरौँ. तपाईँलाई जस्तै एउटा क्वेसन आयो, हाउ, यो क्वेसन आयो भने के गर्नु चाहन्छु ल त, हाउ डु यु टिच पोएम एसे. तपाईँलाई यति मात्र सोध्यो ल, के हुन्छ यसको एन्सर? हाउ डु यु टिच पोएम. ल सिम्पल, एसे. हाउ डु यु टिच एसे, ESSA एसे. दिस इज क्वेसन, छोटो क्वेसन. ल what will be your answer? May I request you to write in the chat box? ल भन्नु त, how do you teach essay? What will be your answer? For reading or writing? Yes. Yes. No, यति मात्र सोध्यो, how do you teach essay? Defining essay and procedure. Delhi, okay. TPP, techniques of teaching essay. Discuss pre-reading and while post. Giving the background, step to step. Pre-reading. Three stages. Scene setting. Okay. Now may I request you to stop? Right. So here, यहाँ पो तपाईले लिट एसे, पोएम, सर्ट स्टोरी, ड्रामा, दे आर द रिडिङ टेक्स्ट भन्दा पो तपाई रिडिङमै बस्नु भयो. तर इन एक्जाम इफ क्वेसन इज देयर, हाउ डु यु टिच एसे भन्ने बित्तिकै तपाई कम्पोजिसन राइटिङमा जानुहुन्छ क्या. योर आन्सर विल बी व्हाट? कम्पोजिसन राइटिङ. एसे भन्ने बित्तिकै तपाईको के हुन्छ भने, यु टक अबाउट प्लानिङ, हैन, यु टक अबाउट ड्राफ्टिङ, रिभाइजिङ, editing, editing, you talk here, and what? Producing final draft. Okay na? के त जानुहुन्छ तपाई? How do you teach essay भन्ने बित्तिकै? So you write your answer from this perspective. Am I right? यतापट्टि जानुहुन्छ हैन. तर कन्फ्युज के हुन्छ भने नि, एकचोटि आएको छ यो त्रिहत्तरमा कतिमा हो हैन. इफ यु चेक प्रिभियस इयर्स क्वेशन्स, यु सी द्याट हाम्रो रिडिङबाट, लिटरेरी टेक्स्टबाट सोध्यो भने पनि हामीले राइटिङकोबाट लेखिदिन्छौँ क्या एन्सर. सो यहाँनिर कन्फ्युजन हुनसक्छ होइन. सो बी केयरफुल द्याट essay is what reading text also, essay is what composition writing activity also. This kind of clarity should be there. Essay is reading text. Essay is reading text. Essay is also what? Essay is also composition writing activity. So here will be here will be confusion. Confusion यहाँ हुन सक्छ. Writing essay is what? Reading text. Essay is also composition writing activity. If question is asked how do you teach essay, then there will be confusion. Reading को part बाट जाने कि writing को part बाट जाने भन्ने हुन्छ हैन. So अलिकति question मा हेर्नु पर्यो. यो reading को tendency बाट दिएको छ कि secondary level 75 मा आएको छ भन्नु छ हैन. सो यो रिडिङ को पार्ट बाट जाने कि राइटिङ को पार्ट बाट जाने भन्दाखेरि, सो क्वेशनमा लिटल बिट हिन्ट और क्लू, डाइरेक्सन के दिएको हुन सक्छ हैन, त्यसलाई ख्याल गरौँ है त. सो यसै भन्ने बित्तिकै यो राइटिङ तिर जाने होइन. सो त्यही भएर यहाँ लिटरेरी पार्टमा, यो लिटरेचरमा चाहिँ के भन्छ भने, एसे इज एसे इज फिल्ड अफ रिडिङ को फिल्ड हो, बट हैज मोटिभ अफ राइटिङ भन्छ के, मोटिभ अफ राइटिङ. यो बुझ्नु पर्यो. एसे इज फिल्ड अफ रिडिङ, यो रिडिङ को पार्ट हो, रिडिङ को टेक्स्ट हो, बट वी हेभ द मोटिभ अफ राइटिङ के. हामीले यसलाई चाहिँ कता लान्छौँ? राइटिङ तिर लान खोज्छौँ. एन्ड अल्सो इन बोथ रिडिङ एन्ड राइटिङ पार्ट, राइटिङ एरिया हैन, एरियाज we use what kind of technique? We use one stone two birds approach हो यो युज गर्छौँ हामीले one stone two birds भनेको एउटा ढुङ्गाले दुईटा चरा मार्ने भन्छौँ हामी यो लिटरेचर पढाउँदाखेरि लिटरेचरको चाहिँ एसे पढाउँदा भने त्यही त्यसरी नै पढाउने तपाईको राइटिङतिर जाँदा पनि त्यसरी नै पढाउने one stone two birds approach भन्छ यसलाई हैन एउटै तरिकाले पढाइदिने क्या जस्तै पोएम एज अ रिडिङ टेक्स्ट त्यसरी नै पढाएको छ अर्को एडभर्टाइजमेन्ट एज रिडिङ टेक्स्ट त्यसरी नै पढाएको छ के सो टिचिङ लिटरेचर लिटरेरी टेक्स्ट एन्ड टिचिङ नर्मल टेक्स्ट ल्याङ्ग्वेज टेक्स्ट सुड बी डिफरेन्ट फरक हुनुपर्छ हैन बट व्हाट ह्यापन्स इन आवर in our class what we see is same way we see and this is called what one stone two birds approach एउटा ढुङ्गाले दुईटा चरा मार्ने भने जस्तो एउटै तरिका लिटरेचर पढाउँदा पनि त्यही ल्याङ्ग्वेजको टेक्स्ट पढाउँदा पनि त्यही तरिका we use हैन so now here essay essay is composition अथवा essay is भनौं न essay is composition writing activity एउटा पार्ट हैन it consists of different stages while teaching this writing activity हैन this activity some major stages are हैन so these are what planning drafting revising editing so this is this is from the writing activity this is from the writing activity now from the reading part how we do is from the reading section essay is what essay is one useful reading text okay यो एउटा essay is what composition writing activity and essay is what one useful reading text so we should be clear है यसमा चाहिँ क्लियर हुनु पर्यो अब हामी यो राइटिङ को पार्टमा जाँदैनौं कि अब हामी रिडिङ को पार्टमा मात्र जान्छौं now this should be clear we don't discuss this हैन this is not our focus here in literature this is not our focus okay and this you should be clear now we go अब अगाडि बढ्छौं हामी some introductory part now here essay is one of the genres or forms of literature we understand it forms of literature it uses or utilizes words to express personal feelings meanings ideas and experiences it is persuasive in nature in nature essayist or the writer tries to use words to convince to persuade to the readers using his words and uses what pure reasons will be reason and will be used words then it is about personal or private feelings meanings ideas and experiences and it experiments ideas and experiences it is a piece of prose we understand it a prose and poetry this is piece of prose and it is what highly polished piece of prose that is often poetic in nature poetic in nature and it is readable but not entirely understandable in a single sitting or single reading एकै पटकमा झ्यापै नबुझिन नै सक्छ रीडिङ इज नेसेसरी फेरि दोहोर्याएर एक दुई पटक पढ्न पर्छ त्यसले के भन्छ नि if students can understand in a single sitting single reading this is not essay भन्छ के लिटरेचर को पार्टबाट चाहिँ so time and again students they have to read and understand the message meaning of the essay so essayist speaks in his or her one name it is written for self rather than to others to read so this has the purpose of reading we said this has the purpose of reading or this is This is the area of reading area of reading activity. यो चाहिँ रिडिङ को पार्ट हो के यो भने हामी राइटिङ तिर नलैजाउँ यसलाई हैन essay is what essay is literary text is one reading activity हामीले रिडिङ मा ल्याउँछौं not writing not composition writing तिर जाँदैन so its quality is persuasive यो चारको छ नि यो पोएम को क्वालिटी भनेको मेडिटेसन हुन्छ हैन त्यहाँ पर्सनल फिलिंग्स मीनिंग्स आइडियाज will be expressed in poem's characteristic is what this is meditation essay ko characteristics भनेको persuasive the writer always tries to persuade the readers using his or her own words experience feelings opinions and his what logic this and everything then drama भनेको performance हुन्छ हैन अनि short story भनेको narration हुन्छ these are the characteristics यो चाहिँ बिर्सन भएन poem मा meditation short story मा narration essay ma persuasion or persuasion then drama this is what performance these are the characteristics of what these four forms of literature you understand it and this just introductory part then what do you see the reasons behind including essays in secondary English curriculum यति मात्र क्वेशन भन्यो भने फेरि यहाँ पनि कन्फ्युजन हुन्छ फेरि so what do you think the reasons behind including essays in secondary or lower secondary English curriculum भन्यो भने के हुन्छ ल भन्नुस् त यहाँ यो त essay भन्ने बित्तिकै यो राइटिङ को कि रिडिङ को भन्ने क्लियर भएन नि so here essay is reading text यसरी आउनु पर्यो or essay is literary text के आउनु पर्यो essay is literary literary text or reading text क्वेशन चाहिँ अलिकति क्लियर हुनु पर्यो हैन so essay मात्र भन्यो भने then we immediately think about essays composition writing then we teach what using planning drafting revising editing producing final draft and publishing हैन we think there because essay is what field of reading and we have the motive of writing हाम्रो एरिया चाहिँ रिडिङ को तर हामीले चाहिँ लेख्न खोज्छौं के essay composition लेख्न खोज्छौं so here objectives will be like reflecting essays about personal experience personal ideas feelings meanings को बारेमा essay हो भने then the objectives of including essays as literary text or reading text in lower secondary English curriculum is what reflecting reporting explaining arguing persuading presentation interpretation intellectual development expanding knowledge horizon so these are the few objectives or purposes I have mentioned here students reflect their past experiences from memory presence in the present vartamanma and shares memory from the memory shares shares in the present right? Reporting students communicate their feelings and meanings in an artistic manner the essay explaining students use persuasive or convincing language while presenting their ideas arguing students debate controversial issues and ideas persuading students present ideas and feelings in a logical order हैन यसले लेख्दा निबन्ध लेख्दाखेरि हामीले के गर्छौं so we present our ideas in a logical way then with a lot of examples and evidences हैन we provide an argumentation will be there logic will be there for example essay हेर्दाखेरि हामीले उता types of essay हेर्दाखेरि argumentative essay हैन descriptive essay then expository essay हैन narrative essay we see so here actually when we write essay निबन्ध लेख्दा के हुन्छ भने so we will present our ideas in a logical sequence using our argumentation our debate will be there we submit we provide a lot of examples and evidences then try to convince pursuit to the readers and then interpretive abilities is expected short means expected then expected expected then intellectual development बौद्धिक विकास को flashback and flash forwards can be seen flashback and flash forwards means विगत को घटनाहरु सम्झने र भविष्यमा यस्तो हुन सक्छ भने कल्पना पनि गर्ने के सो विगत सम्झनु भनेको रिफ्लेक्सन भनेको दिस इज व्हाट फ्ल्याशब्याक वी रिफ्लेक्ट वी गो ब्याक एन्ड रिमेम्बर द past activities and flash forwards means we go forward then we imagine this is what flash forwards can be seen and expanding knowledge horizon is sketching the new trajectories means roads paths paths in intellectual development or expansion so essay provides or essay encourages students, motivates students, for their intellectual development or expansion. So these are what some objectives or purposes we can mention about essay. Now, problems of using essay, difficulties we can discuss. Problems with using essay in English classroom is what amorphous यसको सेपै हुँदैन क्या यसको बाउन्ड्री नै हो यो पोएममा पनि एसे भनेको द कन्सेप्ट अफ एसे वी क्यान सी इन द पोएम वी क्यान सी इन द सर्ट स्टोरी वी क्यान सी इन द वर्ड ड्रामा सो इट डज नट हेभ इट्स क्लियर बाउन्ड्री लिटरेरी बाउन्ड्री छैन एसेको त्यही भएर एसेको त्यति चर्चा पनि गरिँदैन त्यसको यसको आइडेन्टिटी यसको परिचय पनि के छ भने धुमिल छ क्या नट क्लियर ब्लरिङ सो एसे भन्ने बित्तिकै हामीले किन कम्पोजिसन राइटिङतिर हेर्ने हो त नि ड्रामा भन्ने बित्तिकै हामीले लिटरेरी टेक्स्ट हो भन्ने बुझ्ने पोएम भन्ने बित्तिकै लिटरेरी टेक्स्ट हो भने बुझ्ने सर्ट स्टोरी भन्ने बित्तिकै लिटरेरी टेक्स्ट हो भने बुझ्ने तर एसे भन्दाखेरि किन हामीले कम्पोजिसनतिर ध्यान किन गइहाल्छ त भने दिस हेज दिस काइन्ड अफ व्हाट रिकग्निसन इमेज हैन पिक्चर वी हेभ एसे मिन्स व्हाट इट डज नट हेभ क्लियर बाउन्ड्री दिस इज द प्रब्लम अफ व्हाट एसे देन एडल्ट जेन्डर भने स्टिल ग्रोइङ यो अझै मेच्योर्ड जेन्डरको रूपमा छैन इट इज नट फुल्ली डेभलप्ड लिटरेरी जेन्डर स्टिल ग्रोइङ अन middle grow there is moderate degree of intellectual application of essay full potential is not explored यो त्यति full exploration or full utilization or full exploitation we cannot achieve मज्जाले यसको प्रयोग चाहिँ भकै छैन हैन so catch all term भनेको चाहिँ it embraces all literary flavors it borrows idea from literary forms हैन जुन एसेमा चाहिँ हामीले अरु स्टोरीका ड्रामाका पोएमका चाहिँ फ्लेभरहरु पनि आउने हुँदाखेरि सो दिस इज व्हाट अ काइन्ड अफ भेग हुन्छ के हैन दिस इज फिल्ड अफ रिडिङ बट हैज मोटिभ्स अफ राइटिङ essays literary text is useful for reading text we understand but it is commonly used as a field of writing तिर लगिदिन्छौं हामीले so because of this there is problem double edged swords भनेको दुई धार भएको हतियार जस्तो के जस्तै essay has two sides in one side it is reading text in another side it is composition writing it is slowly disappearing from the literature course and emerging in composition writing अब बिस्तारै बिस्तारै एसे भन्ने बित्तिकै लिटरेचरबाट हर्दै गइरहेको छ र उतातिर राइटिङमा यो चाहिँ इमर्ज भइरहेछ के उदीयमान विकास भइरहेको छ सो दिस काइन्ड अफ problem we see in essay it has two sides in one side it is reading text and very low priority we give essay as reading text then high priority we give what essay is what composition writing activity then it is disappearing from the literature course but पनि essay part चाहिँ बिस्तारै this is what getting less priority and going to disappear slowly but emerging as a main activity major activity in the what writing composition so invisible agenda in literature it is commonly used but really analyzed form of literature यो चाहिँ धेरै ठाउँमा अरु जेन्डरहरुमा पनि यसको फ्लेभर आउने तर यसलाई चाहिँ what exactly it is then why it is not what such very popular literary genre this kind of analysis we don't have but it is used commonly but not analysis of this these are few problems आइहाल्यो भने एउटा दुईटा यसो सम्झेर लेखिदिनु होला now basic steps we discuss basic steps of poem भने जस्तै basic steps of using essay as reading text in English class what are the classroom procedure of using essay as reading text how do you teach essay in reading class discuss with examples at least 4 activities other that can be used in useful in teaching essay यस्तो सोध्ला हैन यसै सोध्यो भने अब एसेमा पनि हामी यही प्री व्हाइल पोस्टमै जान्छौं So brainstorming on the topic, then informative lecture we provide on historical, cultural, and political background of the topic, describing author's essayist background, vocabulary discussion will be there. We watch the YouTube video on the topic, predicting topic by the help of keywords, sharing stories and update a picture describing. We can do. These are what pre-reading. Then while reading, just rearranging jumbled paragraph, reordering events, story, step story. We use reader's outline. We can use jigsaw. We can use six thinking hats. We can use textual map. Also, we can use post reading relating to real life situation, rewriting similar kind of essay, reporting this factual and pure regions we point out and we what discuss, retelling, reviewing, and debating, interpreting, summarizing, paraphrasing, searching other works of the same author. So this we do. Okay. Then this is from pedagogic perspective. Unit your unit but pedagogic the now so it is useful in unit 2. Unit 2 what is a pedagogic part. So finally, essay is a language activity. Essay in language classroom, language class. Essays in language class, essay in literature class. What differences we see? What difference are there? Audience, essay in language classroom. This is what writing for readers. Essay in literature, writing for self. Area. This is writing area. You reading area. Aim maintaining coherence and cohesion with accurate sentence structures, and here reflecting, reporting, explaining, arguing. Feelings, emotions, arguing of feelings, emotions, and experience. We do here, experi experiences, etc. Okay. So motive towards writing, motive towards reading, teaching product or process approach we follow while in the essay in language class, essay in literature class we follow. Like pre while post bandina sakincha yo alikati garo interpretation phase we stages of 3 stages of three stages of teaching: pre, while, and post we use. So in this way we understand this. Okay. नोभल हाम्रो कोर्समा छैन, नोभल कोर्समा छैन, लिटरेचर हेर्ने बित्तिकै हामी 4 मात्रै हेर्ने हो है, पोएम, सर्ट स्टोरी, एसे, ड्रामा मात्रै हेर्छ हामी. So some simple activities for the essay, like reordering events. Students they read the essay and then they write when is the time, who are the characters, and where the place is. What is the main content? What are the objectives? Just they read and what list out. So it is the teacher facilitates. Teacher facilitate and readers what they do, and they read and do activities. So in this way we do about what essay also. And reading now next one is what poem bhayo haina, and then what drama story sakeपछि यो forms of literature पनि सकिन्छ. Activities we discuss, and strategies also we finish. Now using drama is a useful reading text. Again I highlight, I focus. Reading is drama is what? Reading text. You understand why we use drama? Drama we use to develop reading skills. Reading skills नै develop हुनु पर्छ. Yes, reading skills in particular, then language skills in general. So what are the purposes of including drama is reading text in English reading class, or reading class in English curriculum यसको हेर्यो भने CURRI curriculum. So if we see the objectives of or purposes of including drama in school level English curriculum, like some objectives we can point out, like for the development of oral skills. When students, they divide the roles and they rehearse in advance, and then act on the stage. So if they engage in such activities, and then they develop the oral skills. Oral means listening and speaking skills. They develop immeasurably. मापन गर्नै नसक्ने ढङ्गबाट सुधारिन्छ हैन. When they develop oral skills, of course, pronunciation part will be there. Non-verbal features they use, fluency they develop, confidence they develop. So this is what one objective, one purpose for the development of oral skills. Why do we include drama? To develop oral skills of the students. One. Then why do we engage learners in drama activities? To ensure their engagement. Okay, to ensure engagement of the learners. When they engage, then motivation will be there, group cohesion will be there. This means what? Work in group and learn from each other. So this is what one very beautiful part. Group cohesion will be there. They will be highly motivated. Engagement means there will be intrinsic motivation than extrinsic one, because participation, engagement is there. All students, they take part, they rehearse, they divide roles, they rehearse, and they perform on the stage. This is what very good, excellent way of motivating and developing group cohesion, and creating space for working in group and learning from each other. And another objective or purpose can be to create context for language learning. Context. Okay, so drama text in English class creates context for language learning. So students, they memorize some lines, expressions, and then that will be naturalistic learning environment will be there. Then from that situation, natural learning situation, and they pick up some structured words they learn. And to provide exposure of language in conversation, how language is used in conversation. So drama provides excellent example, and a real life like environment will be there. Language input will be received there. So in this way, these are the objectives we can mention. If question is asked, what are the purposes of including drama text in a reading class or drama text in English curriculum? So we can write like this. प्लेज भनेकै यो यही त हो त, ड्रामा हो नि प्लेज भनेकै. जेन्नामा प्लेज पर्दैन सर भन्नुभएको छ नि. ड्रामा इज प्ले. सो नोट पिडिएफ आउँछ नि है भन्नुभएको छ तुलबहादुरले. सो अहिलेसम्म पाउनु भएको छैन नोट? आएको छ कि छैन नोट? आउँछ नि होइन? यु गेट इट. अब सक्ने बेला व्हाइट बोर्ड नभन्नु है. अब सकिन लाग्यो. Yes, I will send. यो पनि पठाउँछु. When I finish this unit, I will send complete. है. Lakshmar has it. Teaching literature is language teaching or something else. Teaching literature and language teaching different, but literature in language class, what is the role of literature? Teaching language and teaching literature different. And teaching literature, when we talk about four forms of four genres of literature. So poem, drama, short story, essay. Teaching language means we talk about four skills and four aspects. I mean, skill may aspect but literary text, they support, they enhance what development or language skills. Literature ला चाहिँ. The figure of speech, it will come आउँछ पछाडि. Figure of speech, prosodic features, they are remaining. So essay, how do we teach essay? Whether it is reading or writing, how can we differentiate? So the question मा हेर्नु पर्छ. क्वेशनले ठ्याक्कै रिडिङ को मोटिभ बोर्ड दिएको छ कि राइटिङ को मोटिभ बोर्ड दिएको छ हैन? क्वेशनमै हेर्नु पर्छ. जस्तै how do you teach essay as reading text भन्ने बित्तिकै त्यो लिटरेचरको पार्टबाट आयो भन्ने बुझिन्छ हैन? रिडिङ स्किल डेभलपमेन्ट के जस्तै how do you use, जस्तै एउटा क्वेशन म लेखिदिन्छु. यो हामी कहाँ एसेको पार्टमा है त एउटा क्वेसन म यहाँ राखिदिन्छु दिस इज एसे हैन ओके one question यसरी पनि बुझ्न पर्छ के यसलाई लाइक यु नो एउटा त के भयो भने what do you think the reasons behind including essay is literary text or reading text in lower secondary भन्ने बित्तिकै रिडिङ कै आइहाल्यो हैन the next question अर्को क्वेशन चाहिँ how do you utilize essay to develop different reading skills ओ यसरी आयो भने क्लियर भयो how do you utilize essay to develop different reading skills भन्ने बित्तिकै essay भनेको लिटरेरी फर्मबाट सोध्यो यो essay is what reading text हो भनेर रिडिङ को पार्टबाट दिन पर्यो आन्सर हैन डिस्कस ल यो भने अर्को चाहिँ how do you develop हैन how do you develop extensive and intensive reading skills using by using essay essay in lower secondary level students यसरी सोध्यो अब क्लियर छ हैन how do you utilize essay to develop different reading skills in lower secondary students or in English class discuss भन्यो how do you develop extensive and intensive reading skills by using essay in lower secondary level students अनि यस्तो सोध्यो हैन describe with examples भन्यो so if this question is asked then again we understand this is from what reading part यो reading part बाट सोध्यो भनेर बुझ्नु पर्यो हैन okay these are somewhat possible questions objectives हरु हेरौं पर्पस हेरौं किन चाहिँ कोर्समा राखेको छ यिनीहरु हैन देन रिडिङ को डिफरेंट स्किल्स कसरी डेभलप गर्न सकिन्छ हैन बाइ द युज अफ essay then it will be हुन्छ okay yes in the same way we discuss about drama also I'm भोलि गरौँ है त so अब एउटा दुईटामा यसलाई सक्नु पर्छ okay any question if any question you have one question how can we deal English language is second language or foreign language in the context so Pushpa Khanal has written if you don't mind one question how can we deal English language how can we deal English language is second language or foreign language in a place context this foreign language not second language second language so tomorrow what happens we don't know but till now this is foreign language in Nepal foreign language mai cha hai अनि how does ask writing category to essay writing मा त अब तपाईको write an essay on the given topic भन्दै हाल्यो नि how do you teach paragraph how do you teach essay write an essay on the given topic भन्दियो भने नि के हुन्छ भने this is what from the writing section Then how do you develop different reading skills using essay भन्ने बित्तिकै right रिडिङतिर गयो सो कोर्स हामीले अब यो सक्ने बित्तिकै अब दुईटा रहन्छ 6 बेसिक अफ ग्रामर द्याट लिङ्ग्विस्टिक्स त्यसलाई एक हप्ता जतिमा सकौँला ओके तपाईहरु पढ्दै गर्नुस् then we finish so language is important literature is what one part literature ले त springboard दिने हो कि springboard flexibility one platform so literature is just springboard लचक त्यो त्यस बोर्डमा बसेर उफ्रने हो के and language development is important because we are the students of language and linguistics then our students they should develop their language literature becomes one supportive tool one methodology हैन yes thank you this much for today one two handout we have already received I have sent